My wife and I moved into this neighborhood over 20 years ago. There was nothing in this yard, not even grass. It was just dirt in this backyard. And one day, my neighbor, after I'd lived here a couple of years, my neighbor came over and was admiring the flowers and the plants that I'd put in. And he said, it was really peaceful. And I said, yeah, well, I'd like to have a bunch of flowers and plants and just paths through the yard so there'd be less mowing. And he said, well, put you in some paths. Well, over 20 years later, I'm putting in some paths. And so we'll wait and see how it looks when I'm done. But so far, I like it. I've got mulch paths, and then beside them, I've got dirt areas where wildflowers are planted. Full of mulch. Hope we don't need to get our car out in a hurry. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot to be done still. I have a lot of mulch out in the driveway, ready to be hauled back here. It's a good day for it. 2 hours and well, I started around 8 a.m. with 5 square yards of mulch, and I think I'm on my last load, and it is 1:30. Okay, the fountain is working. And the rain barrel filled up with one rain. Happy about that. So I'll be interested to see how it looks when the flowers grow up and bloom, and you can walk through the paths between the sections of wildflowers. I'm looking forward to seeing that. This section of flower bed here is mostly bare because I just planted it a couple days ago. In the flower beds beside the mulch trails here, I started out with just cardboard and then mulch and then mushroom compost, and then I added some potting soil on top of all of that. So we'll see. It looks pretty good. It looks like the ones that have been planted for a few weeks are doing pretty well there. And our rabbit rock is watching over all the flowers. So I'm putting in these paths, and beside them I have these wildflowers planted. And a few marigolds here. I don't know if you consider marigolds wildflowers. Here's what we've got. And those are some poppies. And I've got the paths so they go right into the garden, the vegetable garden. And they're doing pretty well. The snap peas are starting to climb. I've got several of these curtain rods from Goodwill that I put up along the paths so I can keep the hose in place so it doesn't drag over the flowers. The birds seem to like it. Actually, the rabbits and squirrels like it a lot too. They're often digging in the flower beds. So I don't know how many of the flowers are going to survive with all this digging that the squirrels and rabbits are doing, but hopefully they'll be okay. Some of them at least. Got some roses budding and some wisteria, amethyst falls wisteria. I'll be interested to see how it looks when the wildflowers grow and we can walk through the paths between the wildflowers. I'll have to do an update.